One of the most important things in soap opera acting is reacting. This does not mean acting again.
Hey, it's me, it's JSB, and today on Acting is Reacting, well, we're back with another random foreplay. Um, this is where I listen to four randomly selected songs from an artist, album, or playlist and see what comes up. Um, so today it's going to be an album, specifically, as you've probably all worked out from looking at the video, Sundown by Gord and Lightfoot, which is also starting off another little strand. There's so many little side strands on this brand new channel, and I'm only going to add more because my brain whirs and comes up with things. Can't help it. So this is a 50-year flashback. 50-year flashback. Couple of takes there to choose from. So it's an album from 1974, of course. Now, before we get into it, and because I sometimes forget to do the housekeepy, YouTubey stuff, like, comment, subscribe, do all that. Do it now. Well, don't comment yet because you don't know what's happening, so you don't know what to comment on. Comment at the end, but like now and subscribe now if you haven't already. Okay, so Sundown by Gord and Lightfoot was released in January of 1974, hence why it's the first one up. And it became his third of four albums that topped the Canadian albums charts, and also hit #1 in the States, which was his only one to do that, and was a slightly marked contrast from the previous LP, which was Old Dan's Records. That was his second Canadian chart topper, but only made 95 in the US. So he'd had a big hit with If You Could Read My Mind in 71, and then albums tailed off from there, and he's even said he didn't know if he'd ever have a second big US hit, but he did. And this was his biggest album by far in the States. So in terms of personnel on the album, we've got Gord on guitar and vocals throughout, of course, and he's joined by his touring band members Rick Haynes on bass and Terry Clements on lead guitar. But he's also got his original lead guitar player, Red Shea, on most of the tracks here, and his former bass player, John Stockfish, turns up on a few tracks as well. Not to mention the late, great, and sadly murderous Jim Gordon on drums. So I have got, for my benefit only, an image of the original cover up. The back cover this is, which could perhaps best be described as informative but dull. Hopefully that doesn't also equally apply to me. So I can refer to that for the specifics for each track that comes up, if I so choose. I'm not promising anything. Now, if you have seen previous random foreplays, you'll know that so far I've not had great luck, and I've always had to split them into two parts because super long tracks have turned up. Won't be a problem on this one. There is a 6-minute song, but that's fine if that comes up, and I really hope it does. Even if we had the four longest songs from the album, I think that would be about 18 minutes of music. If we get the shortest four, that's about 11 minutes. So either way, we'll be in good shape. So as I said, this is a long-term favourite of mine, a lifelong listen for me, thanks to me mum, hi mum, who sensibly had it in her record collection from years before I was born. And yeah, as I said in my first video, actually led to Gordon being only the second artist that I spent my own money to buy an album from, which was Gold to Gold, which of course has 3 of the tracks that are on here. So obviously there's the title track, which again was a chart topper both in Canada and the States, and Carefree Highway, which was top 10 in States, number 10, but only managed to get to number 11 in Canada. That's probably the only occasion where he charted slightly better stateside than in his homeland. Now, if I were just to pick my personal favourite 4 tracks here, I can tell you what they are. They would be Somewhere USA. This is an order that they appear on the album, not 1 to 4. So Somewhere USA, 7 Island Suite, Circle of Steel, which is the third track that's on Gord's Gold, and The Watchman's Gone. Least favourites? Well, there's no Duff tracks here at all, but I would say Carefree Highway probably resonates a bit less with me than the other tracks, and the list is kind of a more throwaway song, a little bit lightweight compared to the others, but still a fun listen and a great track. But let's see what we actually get. And do stick around afterwards for what we could have won as I look at 4 tracks after the 4 we listened to see if that would have been a better set of songs or a worse set of songs or an equally great set of songs. Who knows? Anything can happen. There's all sorts of possibilities. Okay, time to hit play and find out what track 1 of today's Random 4Play is. This will be Gord and Lightfoot with Is There Anyone Home? Okay, this is the closer to side 1 of the original vinyl, which is what I grew up listening to.
Is there anyone home in this house made of stone? Anyone inside? No.
John Stockfish on the bass on this one. Terry's on the lead guitar and Red Shay's on classical guitar. Gord himself on the trance string. Turn around, don't look down. As we know, I try not to sing along, but occasionally it just slips out. It's also unusually a Moog synthesizer that you're hearing on this track. Turn up on another one as well, potentially. Again, trumpet tones.
There's a light around you, I've come to switch it on.
To Caro on the string arrangement as well, I didn't mention. Did a lot of great work with Gord in the 70s.
You got that feeling in your soul. Is there anyone home in this house made of stone? Anyone in there who might care? I've grown weary and wise, and I feel much amazed. Got a few good tales to unwind.
Got a few good tales to unwind. Isn't that a line that sums Gordon up? In a highly understated way, of course.
Like any wandering minstrel, I've gone in the house of 1,000 delights.
I can assure you I didn't know what that was referring to when I was a kid.
Someone stirred, I think I heard. Someone stirred, I think I heard. Someone stirred.
Now I'm going to be honest and shock you perhaps with the fact that sometimes in the vinyl days I would play side 2 first, and I often did that with this album, which means that this to me sometimes reminds me of the end of the album, which in proper terms it isn't, but I'd often end there. We're certainly not ending there today. We're going straight into the real album closer, which is Too Late For Prayin', a more somber tune this than much of the album, and it was also the B-side of the Sundown single. Let us pray for the ones they call the children of today. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? Sorry. No drums on this one, but it's John Stockfish on bass again. It's actually pretty much the same as last time. Terry on lead, Red Shang classical guitar, strings from Nick DeCaro and Gord on vocals and 6-string.
Why, thank you, Lord, we're living in the glory of your care. Skies of blue have all turned brown to the sound of sighing. Lord, abide, let us stem the tide of broken dreams. Sometimes you seem to tell us it's too late for praying.
I don't always, in fact I hardly ever, rate an artist's biggest album as one of their best, but I think this is an exception. Every song is great. He doesn't have many duffers in this catalogue, but zero here. And his voice is at its absolute peak in this period. So warm and rich. Really adds to the storytelling.
For each child with eyes that smile, there'll be 10 more crying. Lord, abide, let us stem the tide of helplessness. But then I guess we're living. Is it too late for trying?
I'm also struck again how 50 years later these lyrics are still so pertinent to the world we live in. Is it too late for praying or trying? Really like to think not, but can't help but sometimes think it is.
Grains of sand, nothing much worth saving. Guess we've all got problems of our own to bear. Still we share tomorrow. Could get better than today. To the ones who loved in vain, will you be beholden? Lord, abide, let us stem the tide of broken dreams. Sometimes you seem to tell us it's too late for praying.
Such simple but intricate arrangements, just glorious to the ears. And strings are such a 1970s thing, but I love them, and I love the 70s, so yay for the strings. Right, so we've now had the two possible endings to the album. Hi guys, JSB from the future popping in just to say that the next track got blocked. So I'm going to try and get around it by having it at double speed, so if you then change your settings to listen at half speed, it should sound normal. I think that's how maths works. Either that will happen or it won't be there at all, and we'll just skip to the next track and it'll be a random threesome rather than a random foreplay. Apologies for any inconvenience caused during the watching of this video, but I return you to the hopefully scheduled, if a bit fast, next song, which should be Sundown. It's title track time, ladies and gentlemen. So we just flip the 45 over now. We listen to the B-side first. Here's the A-side.
I can see her lying back in her satin dress, in a room where you do what you don't confess. Sundown, you better take care if I find.
We get a track with Rick Haynes on it. This is John Stockfish again.
Sundown, you better take care.
And here you've got Terry and Red on lead guitars, but Terry's the acoustic, Red Shay's the electric,
She's been looking like a queen in a sailor's dream, and she don't always say what she
and Gretchen Gordon on drums. If you don't know his story, look it up. It's not going to get into it here. It's not a happy one.
feeling better when I'm feeling no pain. Sometimes
I think it's a shame. I can never remember if it's shame or sin. It's terrible, even after listening to this my whole life.
I can picture every move that asking loving is your first mistake. Sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round.
All those harmonies are Gordon as well.
Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel like I'm winning when I'm losing again.
Again, when I was first listening to this, I had no idea what Gordon was singing about, but it didn't matter. It just sounds so good. You do know what the lyrics mean. It does actually, but it's not vital. Clearly. Sometimes I think it's a sin when I feel like I'm winning when I'm losing again. Is it surprised that this was his biggest hit ever? He said at the time that he knew it was going to be a hit, and he never really felt that before. And we're in the last one already. Doing the hit singles today. This is unusual. Well, there's no usual here.
Picking up the pieces of my sweet shattered dream.
The follow-up to what we've just heard, Carefree Highway. As I said, this is maybe my least favourite on the album, and it's great.
Carefree highway, let me slip away on you. Carefree highway, you've seen better days, the morning after blues.
We did get my wish though, in one sense, in that we do have at last Rick Haynes on bass on this track. Red's not on here, but Terry's on the lead. Gord is on the 6th string and the high string guitar. And actually get Nick DeCaro not just on the orchestration, but playing piano and accordion as well. And Jim Gordon on drums, of course. She'll ever do the same.
Now the thing that I call living is just being satisfied with knowing I got no one left to blame. Carefree highway, I got to see you, my old flame. Carefree highway, you've seen better days, the morning I
thought we might get one of my 4 favourites, but we've had none of them, so if you're not familiar with the album, that just tells you how great this album is, because we haven't heard anything I would happily hear any day of the week.
searching through the fragments of my dreams,
Shattered sleep.
I wonder if the years have closed her mind. I guess it must be wanderlust or trying to get free from the good old faithful feeling we once knew. Carefree highway, let me slip away on you. Carefree highway, you've seen the better days, the morning after blues, from my head down to my shoes. Carefree highway, let me slip away.
Slip away on you.
Let me
Slip away on you.
Carefree highway, I got to see you, my old flame. Carefree highway, you've seen better days, the morning after blue, from my head down to my shoes. Carefree highway, let me slip away on you.
As the song slowly fades out, I will let the first few seconds of the next track run, just so that you can see what the next song would have been, and I will of course list the full 4 in our Here's What You Could Have Won section. So here's what you could have won, part 1.
Out on the road like a low down Joe, and the bar where we are
That's the first 10 seconds. You can probably identify it if you know the album. It's the first 10 seconds of the album. Somewhere USA. Didn't come up. So close. Next three. Oh, wow. We would have had the list, which is down there on this album. But then Seven Islands Suite and The Watchman's Gone. Oh, my goodness. Probably my two favorites on the album. And we didn't get to them, which is a shame. But that's okay, because you can go and listen to them now. I just might, you know. Since there's only 10 tracks here, I'll let you know that we would have finished off with High and Dry and close with Circle of Steel. Okay, well, there we have it. That was our random foreplay with Gord and Lightfoot and the Sundown album. We got both side closes of the original vinyl, Is There Anyone Home and Too Late for Prayin', which was the B-side of Sundown, which we also had, followed by its follow-up single, Carefree Highway. So a real day for iTunes to pick the singles for us. Now, to get my shows lined up to match some specific dates, I'm going to skip next week's scheduled acting self-reaction, which is the thing I do in between Music Week, where I look at something that I've acted in myself. In case you don't know, I'm an actor, and this is kind of why I started the channel, and then I got distracted by all this music. So we're going to go straight back to another Music Week next week. So that will see us look at Crowded House for the Songs of 24 series on Monday. And then on Friday, we're with another 50-year flashback with quite a different album to what we've just listened to from 1974, but almost as good. And that is What Were Once Vices Are Now Habits from the Doobie Brothers. Okay, well, that is it for today. Thanks for joining me. Do hit like, subscribe, etc. And you can now comment because you know what's happened in the video. Okay. And I will see you on the next video, when and indeed if that ever happens. Bye for now.